chatting about the movie and people we worked with and shit in general. Just great bonding. I was more open than I ever had been. He was more open than I'd seen him be and shit like that. I was like, I like this. There's something to be said for the social lubricant of it all. You know, it's just like, and it's not about social lubricant as much as like you're in a mission's job. You can be real with people and shit. Have real conversations, not just like, it's been cold. Isn't it cold? Are you cold? It's been very cold lately. Instead, you're like, hey man, the other day I took a shit that I think like birthed a brand new universe. To you, and you feel bad about flushing it because that's a world, you know? And we had such a blast and shit, but after it was done, I was just like, you know, I'm not a fucking stoner. I don't know where to get weed, nor would I think about looking for it. And so I was just like, that's fine. Something to remember, something I did will never become a big part of my life. Cut to that 4th of July, right before Zack Muir comes out. Nobody else is in the house, just me and the wife, and she's like, let's smoke weed. And fuck, and I was like, yes, let's do it, because we didn't get to do it the last time. So we smoked weed, we smoked 1 joint this time, as opposed to like 2 joints and shit, so we didn't get all daffy. We got real fucking like, you know, centered. And then had sex. Now I have never had sex while I've been stoned, drunk, anything like that. I'm pretty sober, I'm not a drinker, and all my life I haven't been much of a stoner. Prior to that July, you know, 4th of July weekend, you could count on literally 2 hands the amount of times I've gotten stoned in my life. People are always like, that's bullshit, because those movies are about stoners. I was like, those movies also had a rubber poop monster in it, and that's not real either. So, you know, we smoked the joint and shit like that, and then we had sex, and I'd never had sex while I was stoned, and it was phenomenal. It was like, if you took peanut butter and somehow made it better. Because peanut butter is a fantastic food stuff, tastes great, it's perfect. You can build shit with it if you want. It's a wonderful catch-all substance, and it tastes amazing. And there's no way to improve it. They try once in a while, like cashew butter, you know, like, fuck you, peanut butter. It needs no help. Smoking weed and having sex is kind of like taking peanut butter and putting pussy in it or something. Where you're like, it tastes like peanut butter, but it has the awesome taste of pussy on top of it. Like, why did I ever think of doing this before? Together again for the first time. So it was, I can't even explain it. It was astounding. It was a religious communion of souls. Me and my wife had always been fuckers. We don't really make love. We love each other very much, but in bed, we're very much fuckers. You don't look at someone like me and make love. You know what I'm saying? In order to get through it, you're like, I'm gonna fuck this idiot. You know, and that's pretty much what we do. We fuck each other. But that night, we were totally making love because we were like touching and feeling and blah, blah, blah. So into one another. Tears and shit like that. Real religious fucking communion of souls and pussy and dick. And when I came, fucking forget it. It's just like, as long as an orgasm usually lasts, this lasts 4 times as longer. And it just keeps fucking going. I remember I was fucking, it was coming, I was like, it's ropey, it's ropey. That was really cool for me, but at the same time, it also just kind of like dropped any inhibitions I had left, which wasn't much, but still, it is nice to get them out of the way. And it also made me far more gregarious and like easier to be around people and whatnot, and more curious and shit like that. I mean, you know, there's a reason why people that write and do music and shit are drawn to it. It's fun. It like unlocks a little piece of, you know, a lot of people are like, hey man, you should drop acid. I'm like, that's okay, I don't need that. This comes from the earth, very natural and shit like that. It's green. Makes me feel nice. So, I don't know, I've kind of, at age, like, now I'm 39, at age 39, I became like a habitual smoker in a big bad way. And I feel like, wow, I spent 15, 17 years building an empire. Now I just want to smoke it all away. You know, and if I have to, I'll rebuild later on. But, and some people are like, oh, what the fuck, you're smoking so much weed, blah, blah. I don't know, I'm leery of anybody that is leery of my weed. Because anybody that knows me, people outside have opinions, whatever, they don't know me. People in my world and shit, because I'm always like, you knew me before I smoked weed. And you knew me after I smoked weed. Which one do you like better? And invariably, they're all like, oh yeah, the weed guy. Because the other one was always antsy and shit like that. So it's cool. I mean, it's improved the Q&As even so much more. Because now the Q&As, man, are just like, it's not, like I don't feel the need to get up here and make jokes. It happens and we have a good time, but I walk out here with the same fucking mantra on every show. Ever since I started smoking weed, I'm just like, Lord, just let me be honest and everything will work out. And I think that's what it does for me. It just kind of gives me the keys to being honest. I don't think about any of the bullshit anymore. Let myself get bogged down in like appearances and shit. I mean, obviously. So I don't know, advocate in a big bad way. I'm not saying it's for everybody. Kids probably shouldn't do it and shit. Wait till you're like me. Start at 38. You know, it's not the kind of thing I advocate for teenagers and whatnot. Let them work for a while. Then fucking smoke them. We good?